Today I want to talk about blue chip stocks and how to find the ultimate blue chip stocks. Now, if you're like me and you love food, especially chips, no, this is not something you eat. And it also sounds like one of those scenarios. Would you take the blue pill or the red pill? The blue chip stock or the red chip stock? And really what it comes down to is blue chip stocks are stocks that are well known, high quality companies that are leaders in their industry. So really they're one of the top 3 companies in their industry. These companies have stood the test of time and are respected by their customers and their shareholders. I want you to remember that, customers and shareholders, because I created a scenario testing to find those ultimate blue chip stocks that you don't want to miss. So blue chip companies have solid business models and impressive track records of returns for investors. These returns often include regular and growing dividend payments. Who doesn't love dividend payments? In fact, in March, I had my biggest dividend month yet of collecting those dividends, over $200. I'm so happy. This is that snowball effect that I talk about, and it really makes a difference long term. So this makes blue chip stocks among the most popular for conservative investors, those that want safe holdings. Also, if you are risk tolerant though, and you like to take more risks, you should still have some blue chip stocks in your portfolio because this will diversify your portfolio. It'll add stability, especially during turbulent stock market times, which I think we've had since the pandemic hit. I don't think we've had a normal stock market since the pandemic. It's just been nothing but constant chaos, I feel, ups and downs. But regardless, these blue chip stocks will help your portfolio stay stable and long term, I think, provide great growth. So let's go over a summary of what blue chip stocks are. They're an industry leader with a dependable business model. They have a proven track record and strong reputation with consumers and shareholders. Remember, consumers and shareholders, we're going to do a scenario test that I created here in a minute. They have a history of delivering strong returns over the long term. It pays dividends to shareholders and regularly increases its payouts. So in this snip, you'll see some examples of blue chip stocks. You have Coca-Cola, Berkshire Hathaway, P&G, Disney, Walmart, Starbucks, JP Morgan Chase, and Johnson & Johnson. The best blue chip stock out there, in my opinion, is Apple. And yes, this is one that I do not hold in the portfolio I'll show you guys, but I have a separate investment portfolio where I do have an ETF that holds a large amount of Apple, so I am invested in that sense. But I do think Apple is one of the best. So let's go through all these check marks and see why it's one of the best. Is it an industry leader? Absolutely. You look at everyone out there who owns a phone, like a cell phone, which is basically most of the population in America, you're going to see the majority are Apple phones. You're going to see people wearing Apple Watches, Apple AirPods. They are an industry leader. They are pretty much a monopoly in this area. Do they have a dependable business model? You betcha. Not only are their services growing, that's those subscriptions that are sticky and dependable, but their products alone act as, in my opinion, a subscription. Once you buy an Apple phone, you get entrenched in their ecosystem, you have the watch, the AirPods, you're gonna keep buying those for probably the rest of your life, so it's very dependable. People love their products, which means the next point is a proven track record. They have a proven track record financially, of course, but with consumers. Consumers love Apple products. In fact, it's one of the few products that people will line up for when they release a new iPhone or other product. And people research the heck out of phones that will be coming out because they want to know, what is it going to include this year? What improvements have it made? People are addicted and they love this product. Now, does this company have a history of delivering strong returns over the long term? Absolutely. You look at their stock chart, it is amazing. They have strong cash flows, revenue, so on and so forth. I don't need to go too deep into that because I think that's very well known. Does it pay a dividend to shareholders? It does. Yes, it's a smaller dividend, but it does regularly increase this dividend, the payouts, which long term, if you hold this 20, 30 years, you're going to be making some good money off of Apple, but more so the appreciation in that stock price, I think, is where it's going to be the clear winner. So Apple, to me, is one of the best blue chip stocks. Now, I want to take this one step further in finding the ultimate blue chip stocks, and we're going to use Apple to see if it's an ultimate blue chip stock. Now, I've seen some tests like this out there, people talking about it, and this is fun, but this is what I call the consumer versus shareholder scenario test. So the first test is on the consumer end. Would you take $10,000 and never buy an Apple product again? For me, I would never take that deal. First of all, I'll spend way more than $10,000 over my lifetime in Apple products and services. Now that sounds crazy, and unfortunately it's true though. You think of phones are $1,000+ each, and you're going to replace those every 2 to 5 years. Plus you buy AirPods, you buy the watch, the services, it adds up quickly over your lifetime. So that would be no deal for me on that side of things. Not only that, but I depend on this phone. The apps that I have, the pictures I have saved, the documents, a lot of things are in the cloud. It's just, I'm very dependent on this product and would not leave it for $10,000. So it passes the consumer test. I would not take $10,000 for it. Now, the shareholder test. Would you sell your shares right now? So if you're an Apple holder, you hold stock, would you sell for $10,000 plus you get to keep what you make from selling out of it? So let's say right now your market value is $20,000. You get to sell out, get that $20,000 plus another $10,000, but you could never invest in Apple again. You have to stay out of it. I would not take this deal either. I can make way more than $10,000 in Apple's stock in my lifetime. So I would not take this deal. I think that would be a bad deal. And yes, there's other blue chip companies out there, but this to me, the fact that it passed both the consumer and shareholder test means that it's an ultimate blue chip stock, which means I would want to stay invested. I would not want to sell my shares, my holding of Apple. So let's go now to my portfolio, and I want to share what my best blue chip stock is in this portfolio and if it's an ultimate blue chip stock. So I share my portfolio performance with every video. I'm transparent, and I appreciate it if you subscribe and help my channel grow. It means a lot to me. But right now my portfolio is in the green by 2.65%. That's just shy of $1,400 in profits. And the best blue chip stock in my portfolio is Microsoft. Yes. In fact, it's the best performing stock out of all my stocks in my portfolio. It is up 20% for me. Not only that, it happens to be 20% allocation of my portfolio, so it's kind of funny, 20-20. And for me, Microsoft, would I as a consumer agree to take $10,000 and never use its products again? Hell no. I'm an accountant, so I'm dependent on Excel, a lot of the other office products that it utilizes. So no, I would not take $10,000 to never use Microsoft products again. That's just, I am too dependent on their operating systems. Now, as a shareholder, would I sell out of Microsoft? I'll take my 20% gains and an extra $10,000? Absolutely not. I think long term, I will make some really good profits with Microsoft, so I would not take that deal. So it passes both tests, which means this is an ultimate blue chip stock. So we have two so far, Microsoft and Apple. So what blue chip stocks would you never sell out of for $10,000? What product would you never agree to use again for $10,000? If you pass both these tests with a stock where you would not take either deal, these are your ultimate blue chip stocks, and these I think are the best of the best to invest in. Of course, as always, safety and diversity is key in your portfolio to making long-term money, long-term growth and profits. And I think, unless if you're invested in ETFs like a S&P 500 ETF or SCHD, which have many blue chip stocks in them, but that's great, a great way to invest. But if you're one that just holds stocks, right, or mainly heavily in stocks, I think at least 75% of your portfolio should be in blue chip stocks. And this means that 75% of your portfolio is safe. Of course, diversity is key, so you don't want to put it all in one company. You want to spread that 75% out through, a handful of blue chip stocks. And I think that's the best way to help your portfolio make future growth and keep it safe and stable. So let me know if you like my scenario testing to find those ultimate blue chip stocks, and what is your favorite blue chip stock. And this could be one that's in your portfolio or maybe one that's not. Maybe there's a stock out there you wish you would have bought, but you never got around to it. Maybe it's just overvalued right now. I'd love to hear this feedback from you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time on Mark Arnold's Finance.